friends in common. What are you passionate about? Passionate.
The Passion Show on CFRU 93.3 FM Guelph, Ontario. With Wizard.
I'm a water wizard, Harry.
With
Hello world. You are listening to The Passion Show on CFRU 93.3 FM. It's a do-it-together radio show all about passions and the people who have them. My name is Wizard.
My name is Seth.
What? Seth. He's back.
I'm back.
Weren't you
back,
just here?
baby.
Weren't you just here a few months ago?
It feels like it. It feels like it.
I mean, it's really, like, when did we record that? It must have been...
I think that was, like, before. It was either December. It was when I was still at my mom's place after my Euro trip, and...
December sounds about right.
Yeah.
And now here we are, you know, we were shivering.
Yeah.
And now we're not shivering anymore.
Well, we were not shivering. Then it was just like sleet and snow and terribleness.
It was 15 degrees for that one day, and then it was winter again.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little bit of fake spring, and then winter too.
We got tripped out like 3 times though this time.
Yeah, we got like winter. We were getting winter 3. We were getting like double fake spring.
This is like the Terminator movies where they just keep going.
They just keep making.
They just keep pumping them out. Yeah.
They're trying to. Big weather's trying to hold us down, man. But you can't trust meteorologists. They just are liars. No, that's not true. Actually, the most recent episode of this show is with a kid who's got like an incredible interest in meteorology.
Oh, okay.
And he's talking about predicting weather the whole time.
Nice.
It's phenomenal. This 14-year-old.
Is he doing anything with actual equipment?
Yeah, he's got some equipment that it's like he's seeding clouds. He's saying.
Okay.
He's got like an ice ray that he shot up into the sky.
Yeah.
And
well, when you said that, I just kind of immediately pictured like he's like walking out into the outside and he's like, "Yep, it's cold right now, and it might rain."
It's cold and it might rain. That's true. That's true, Colin. You got it.
That's pretty bang on to what it's basically.
It's not good. I go outside. I do the same thing. I say it's cold. It's probably gonna rain.
Mm-hmm.
It's March.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Although I am happy that this week is kind of cleared up. March break was like we just did the camp at the Grotto, so
you and me both, buddy boy.
Oh yeah, you did the camp. Actually, we had there was an interesting, someone had called in and thought they were talking to you guys, I think, but it was us, and I was like answering their questions on the phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sorry to ask this question. I feel so silly, but like this is the Guelph Grotto. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, I was trying to call the Guelph Outdoor
They were trying to.
School."
The funny thing is, they were literally trying to call me.
Yeah.
That week, I was like the phone call guy. I was the site manager, and it seems like you were doing the equivalent of that at the Grotto.
Yeah.
Because you're like the camps guy. Eh?
Yeah, I've
sick.
recently been promoted to the programs manager, so I manage all the kids' programs, which I love doing. It's so much fun.
That's so sick.
I definitely thank you so much. It's nice. I feel like I'm moving up, and I'm really happy and satisfied with how the role has gone so far. And enough corporate talk. It's freaking awesome. It's so good. I'm having a good time, and I'm making sure kids have fun.
Yeah, I do this. I'm doing the same thing, buddy. I actually also just got a slight promotion. Maybe isn't the word for it, but like title change.
What did you go from to?
I went from field instructor plus whatever it is that Wizard does,
right, to
field instructor plus a name for what Wizard does.
Wow.
We're still kind of locking down what that name is.
Magic. Wizard does magic.
I want it to be, wouldn't that be fun? Just like chief executive magician.
Yeah.
But
on your tax form.
I want it to be communications czar.
Okay.
But they don't want to put czar in the name, or like commissary or comptroller.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to put any of these kind of scary words in my title.
I can see it from both sides. I think you should, though. I think that'd be really funny.
If it were a good Adjust World, I could be the communications comptroller. Like, come on, it's not that scary. But no, I think I'm comms and outreach manager.
Okay, professional.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I need to come up with a better thing to sign off on my emails with than that.
Well, I have a burning question now.
Oh yeah.
How do you pick up the phone?
Oh, see, that's a funny thing that I have to sort of deal with that every time I pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I gonna answer with my given name, or am I gonna say wizard, or am I gonna say a combination? Because like I don't know if I'm picking up a phone call from the bank,
Right.
and then even just the mildest mention of wizard, it's gonna make me look like a fool,
Right.
or if it's gonna be a parent from outdoor school who doesn't even know my real name,
Right.
they only know me as
Only
wizard.
know you as wizard.
So usually I just say hello.
Just
I say, hey, hi. I say, how's it going? Who is my talking to?
who the heck is
Who
this?
the heck is this? Exactly. It is a struggle, though. How do you answer the phone?
I have two ways of answering the phone. If it's my personal cell, my dad does this a lot, and I've picked it up.
Okay.
I pick up the phone and I say, "House of the Lord, Moses speaking. God's on vacation. How may I help you?"
That's cute. My dad has one like that.
It's a funny one. It gets some laughs, and then occasionally you do get a serious phone call, and you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. How may I help you?"
My dad's is this is the morgue. You bag 'em, we tag 'em.
Oh my!
Or something.
I've heard that one before.
Something to that effect.
I like that a lot.
So.
When I pick up the phone at the Grotto, though, I always, without fail, for like the past 4 years, I'll pick up the phone and I'll go, yo, Guelph Grotto, SETH begin. How may I help ya? And a lot of people do like the energy, just because it's like, climbing gym.
Yeah,
it's a little less serious.
That's
but
a good energy.
It also kind of opens the floor to be like, this person is, all right, this guy is excited to be here. So it's good stuff.
And then that's a good lead off. When at outdoor school, I always, when I'm talking to people, try to be my most, straightforwardly chipper and like solid self. I feel like it makes people more comfortable. Like parents, especially, it's parents of kids, they want to know that we're taking care of their kids.
Yeah.
And I can be like, hi, my name is Wizard or whatever. I'm like, hello, I'm Wizard. Great to meet you.
Yeah.
Eye contact, firm handshake, smiling face. Boom.
But I'm sure, like, when you're, like, working with the kids, you've got, like, the fun persona.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the parent persona.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to turn on, like, the professional voice and, like, my friends call it, like, the telemarketer voice.
Oh, yeah.
When you're just, like, trying to exude professionalism and stuff. So I don't mind doing that with parents, because I feel like that's just the proper and polite thing to do. But then I'll turn around and I'm just talking gibberish and whack to the kids.
Yeah.
Of course in an appropriate way, I mean. But like what's an example? I like to just say random stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been saying, "So good, big dog, aru," just as the French say. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I don't even know what it means. I said it once and a kid laughed, and it's made its way into the repertoire.
Yeah, I love developing borderline vocal tics.
Yeah.
It was just me and a friend of the show, past and future guest, Nava. We started saying, "What y'all know about this?" Just over and over again.
I like that a lot.
It's great, right?
It's good because it's
just something you can say at any time.
Yeah. Especially even on the topic of like working with kids, like kids would be immediately, if multiple people are talking, especially direct that same thing that you just the same thing you just said directed at something. If I were a kid, I'd be like, well, I want to know what's up.
Yeah, especially when we're like giggling. Yeah, we had a bunch of kids just like all day long. If there was a moment of silence, some kid would go, "What y'all know about this?" And then everyone start laughing and saying it. Good, funny thing.
I like that.
What y'all know about this?
I'm trying to think of like some other ones. A lot of the weird sayings I have do come from my dad. He also said the blind man to the billy goat. Ba said the billy goat, because billy goats can't talk, which is just nonsense. But I find that one specifically really funny because I've brought it up to, it's got to be like at least 5 people at this point who have then been like, oh, my dad has their own version. Yeah. So I feel like there's this like subplot of the dads like got together before they all had kids, and they were like, we're all gonna make our own, and we're all gonna.
What version of the IC thing are we gonna do? For my dad, it was IC said the blind man, and then there's some other part of it, but I don't know. It just IC said the blind man is something I say a lot. I don't know why.
There was another one that was similar. It was something like, "I see," said the blind man to his deaf wife, as he pissed into the wind. It hit him in the face. And I like that one a lot. But I try not to say that one too much, because if it becomes a vocal tick, I don't want to say it around kids.
No,
I feel like
exactly.
that would be a little inappropriate.
And hey, kids, if you're hearing this right now, then you've been let in on that.
Yeah, you're in
you
on
keep
the
that
joke.
to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a cute little dad joke for you. You can take that to the bank.
I actually had another, speaking of dad jokes, like a kid tell me a dad joke that totally caught me off guard. I should have seen it coming. He was like, "Can I tell you a dad joke?" And he was super excited about it. And we were kind of like,
kids love dad jokes.
They love them. We were like joking around, and he's like, "Yeah, can I tell you this dad joke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "All right, cool. Like, it's about carpentry." And as I talked about before, I'm a woodworker.
Exactly.
So I got really hyped up. I was like, "Oh, dude, sweet. Lay it on me." And he goes, "I'm still working on it." And I felt so foolish. It like just boom, hit me right in the face. I was like,
carpenters are always still working on it. That kid roasted you up,
dude. It was crazy. And I told him that I do woodworking too. So like,
and it's perfect.
He just lined me up, shot me down.
Hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely dusted. That's great.
Also, actually, I have a question for you, Wizard.
Ooh. I had a feeling you would want to ask me a question. When people come back, they're always like, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Wizard a question."
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to live up to expectations
that's
here.
Okay.
I play this little game.
Okay. I like little games, and I like playing.
I like putting out the option for things to the universe.
Okay.
Call it 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
It's very simple.
All right.
I'm going to ask you to pick a number 1 or 2 in a sec.
Okay.
And you just pick a number. I have been rocking my brain about what to talk about today.
Okay.
And I've settled on 2 things, but I'm not sure which one I want to pick. So I'm just going to leave it up to the universe.
Yeah.
And leave it up to you.
Okay.
So, Wizard, please pick a number.
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Most people pick 2.
Interesting.
That's also a thing I have to be aware of, because if I want it to be completely random, I really have to jumble it in my mind and just be like, and that's it.
Of course people pick number 2. That's interesting. I wonder what that says about people.
I've been trying to figure that out. But I like it when people pick 1 because
number 1, baby.
Because I'm not expecting it, and then it makes it easier for me to randomize in a weird way. Because I'm like, well, what if they do? Anyways,
well, you've got me on tenter hooks right now. That's another thing my dad loves to say.
Tenter hooks.
Tenter. Have you ever heard this phrase?
No.
It's like an old timey phrase. I looked it up later in my life because I'd heard it so many times. I was like, what is my dad talking about when he says on tenter hooks?
Yeah.
And it means just like anticipate. It has some meaning. I don't know. If you, dear listener, send me a message on wizard.collective on Instagram, or you can email me at wizard@thepassionshow.ca and tell me what sitting on tenter hooks means. Anyways, I'm sitting on tenter hooks. What is option 1?
Well, option 1 was, I thought it would be really cool to kind of talk about, I have ADHD.
Okay.
I thought it would be sweet to just talk about how it's kind of affected my life as a kid, moving into me as an adult, and how it's kind of shaped me.
That's awesome, because I'm very curious to hear your take on that. My relationship with ADHD is that I don't have ADHD, or at least as far as I'm aware. But, that is funny. I did set that up with a bit of a comedic slant, didn't I? I do not have ADHD. All right, at the very least, I haven't been diagnosed for it.
Right.
And I never had any teacher or anything suggest that I might. But the reason I have a relationship with it is because my sister has it.
Okay.
My mom has it.
Oh.
Or my mom we think that there's a possibility that my mom has it. I don't know. We love past and future guest, my mom, by the way.
Your mom was on here?
You betcha she was.
That's so freaking sweet.
She's the best. And my main thing is that at my place of employ, the Guelph Outdoor School, we get a lot of kids who are diagnosed with ADHD, who are there explicitly because it's such a good environment for kids with ADHD. And a lot of our staff have it too.
Dare I say that's not very shocking.
Yeah,
I feel like ADHD and the outdoors kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, mop found in bucket.
Yeah.
Kids with ADHD love running around in the bush. Shocker. But yeah, so yeah, I spend a lot of time around ADHD and reckoning with it and thinking about it and empathizing with it.
Well, that's really cool.
And I want to hear it from you.
I'm actually kind of excited to hear your takes on it backwardsly about what I'm talking about. So yeah, I guess I'll start
from the top.
How I got diagnosed as a kid. It's a really funny story too. I was in grade 1 and I had this friend in grade 2 who, what we would do is we would call it bathroom wars.
Bathroom wars.
We would go in the bathroom at recess, and you know those sinks where you had to like press the pedal down. It's like the big
big
water trough.
Basin. Those are fun.
So we would pull all the toilet paper out of the bathroom stall, and then we'd make balls and then wet like 30 of them at a time.
Oh my god.
And then that was our ammo, and we'd stand on the toilet and we'd jump on like the wall. We'd grab on the wall and try and like throw it at each other.
That explains your climbing acumen.
I've been training since I was
doing crimp
8,
training
7 or 8. And it's funny actually, I ended up getting caught by a teacher, and we decided, me and this person, shout out Connor if you remember this or ever listen to this. This was like in Brampton.
Oh wow.
We got caught, and then we
grew up in Brampton.
Yeah, I was born in Brampton. Nice. And then I moved to good old Guelph.
Good old G town.
Good old G town. From B to G.
From B to G, baby.
But yeah, we got caught, and then we didn't do it again. But some older kids found out we were doing it, and then they took the idea one step further. They wet the toilet paper and they threw it at the wall. Oh, no. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, probably not, but when wet toilet paper dries on a wall, it's very difficult to clean off.
I have not experienced that. It seems like a very specific thing.
Yes, and so I actually caught an in-school suspension for this thing that the older kids had done.
No way.
That I didn't do, and then news got sent home to my parents about this, and that's when they sent me to go get tested for ADHD.
Wow.
And it followed another incident as well, where my friend in kindergarten had gotten a paper cut.
Okay.
And rather than keeping calm, I went up to the teacher, and the teacher had kind of dismissed me. And so I assumed she wasn't going to help. So I ran to the office screaming, there's blood everywhere. My friend cut themselves in the kindergarten room. And a teacher stopped me, and she was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, it's brutal. There's blood everywhere. It's such a bad cut. And so she ran off. And then I went into the office, got a Band-Aid. I was happy. I went back, gave it to my friend. And then the whole 7-8 split class burst into the room. And Whoa. They had all just done their first aid. And they were like, where's the injured child? So it was a bit of a two-parter there. So I ended up getting tested, and I got put on medication. Okay. And then it's actually quite uneventful from grade 1 to grade 8. I was a pretty decent student. Mm-hmm. I tried my hardest. I tried not to get in trouble at school. I don't know. I was just a medicated kid, But kind of unfortunately, due to that, I really felt like I had lost something, oddly enough. Mm-hmm.
I've definitely had some experiences with kids, and especially older kids.
Yeah.
Who are sort of becoming more aware of themselves. Specifically when I worked at Camp Celtic with grade 8 field trips. Mm-hmm. There'd usually be 1 or 2 kids there every few days who we knew was medicated. And he had sort of, I talked to a lot of kids about this. And that is not, you are not out of the ordinary for that.
It's
not at all.
A lot of people that I've talked to with ADHD kind of equate it to losing your sparkle, that really driving force for your personality. And I think there's positives and negatives with medication at that age. I think it definitely helped set me up academically for high school, whereas I would have struggled a lot without it. But I think on another hand, I kind of felt like I was always missing something, or I was trying to compensate in some way because I was missing something. So I was always trying to figure out who I was, who Seth England was. And then grade 9 hits. I made a personal decision that I would stop taking medication.
Okay.
And this is where
It's a big choice.
Yeah, I decided it on my own. It was about halfway through grade 9. And then actually, which I do regret this part, I went into the office and I canceled my IEP as well.
Oh, man.
Because I think I had kind of started to feel like I was getting too much help almost. Like I was getting too much of a bonus. And the way I was viewing that is I was like, well, I just want to be treated the same as everyone else. So I shouldn't have to have medication. I shouldn't have to have an IEP. I should be able to do all these things.
What does IEP stand for?
Individual Education Plan. So that's like the things where like maybe you get an extra hour on a test because you're struggling to sit. You need to fidget a little bit and walk around. You can do it in a separate room where it's a little more quiet.
Yeah, I had homies in high school who went and had that. I remember that. It's like, all right, Godspeed, soldier, have fun writing this test in the library.
And it was so I did the first semester on meds with the IEP, and then I canceled it right at the end.
Just hard, boom.
Yep. So I went into the second semester of grade 9, and this hit me like a truck. I didn't realize this as a kid. When you have an IEP, your teacher gets that. Your teacher can see that. So they understand if you're struggling in class, that's why. When I canceled that.
Now you're going into new classes.
Now I'm going into new classes.
Oh,
and
man.
Immediately I'm struggling. Like I'm struggling to focus. I'm not on meds. I'm struggling when I'm taking tests or talking to teachers. Teachers are totally not understanding what I'm struggling with.
They don't even have the context anymore.
They don't have the context anymore.
On your card or whatever.
Yeah, and it was a gong show. I can't lie. It was pretty brutal. From grades 9 to 12, I had to essentially completely relearn how to behave in a school setting, where I was constantly like twitching, wanting to run around, needed to talk. That's a big one. Always needed to say something, respond to anything. And biggest thing of all is that like learning felt like it was impossible. Like
That's interesting.
I almost like wasn't able to do it because I had so much energy. And this is funny enough where climbing starts to come into my life there. It's where I started to take it seriously, started doing it competitively. And
in high school, cool.
In high school, yeah, like grade 9, like
at the
kind of
Grotto?
on there at the Grotto.
Sweet.
And it was weird. It helped for sure, but getting that energy out and just ripping on the climbing wall became like this godsend and savior for me, where if I was climbing the next day, I had like kind of burned out that energy and I was doing better at school, that sort of stuff. So I started training really hard. I ended up progressing pretty far in competitive climbing, and my school was getting better. So right around that like grade 11, 12 mark is where I was really trying to lock in.
Yes.
And
that's that's the power of stuff, right? Like just activities, outlets. That's why these things need funding and love and respect from the education, like the pipeline of school to the Grotto, or school to like whatever a kid's gonna be able to like activate them and turn them on. It's so important.
And it's funny you bring that up too, because it's something I notice on like a daily basis working with kids at Grotto. Like, and I've also had so many talks with parents who like I coach one of the competitive streams, the development team with the Grotto, and I've had so many chats with parents where their child joins in on the development team and they kind of put their focus and effort into it. Maybe that child has ADHD, maybe they don't, but like parents notice a significant uptick in sociability, how fearless they are in different settings, how much better they're doing in school or just in general. And that's so mind-boggling. So it was like this like holy grail for me as a kid.
That's amazing that you had that experience. I've seen that in a lot of kids. I've never talked to a grown-up who can reflect on that.
It's cool. The only reason I'm reflecting on it too is because I am seeing it happen like in real time with other kids now. And I feel very blessed to have seen that, because I feel like it's kind of shaped my whole understanding of activity and physicality with ADHD and how that kind of expands out to other people as well as myself. The one thing that I really did not grasp, though, which I always struggled with until recently, was the
slopers. Yeah, those are hard to grasp.
I actually love slopers.
Sorry.
It's okay. I actually struggled to grab crimps.
No, I'm the opposite. I love to crimp. My fingies can just get on there.
I can't do it.
My palms are just go ouch, ouch, ouch. My fingy tips, I can go.
I've got brutal
clothes
bad fingers. if I crimp, I'm like, please don't break.
But okay, you're saying that something was a struggle to grasp.
Even now, like I can totally admit it, it's the impulse control. Because as much as activity can help with impulse control, at the end of the day, a lot of it is like a mental battle within yourself. There are two wolves inside me.
Oh yeah, we talk about that at our school all the time.
And it's crazy because I struggled a lot. It was mostly impulse with not thinking before I say things. I struggled with that a lot. That was one of the biggest things because whatever came to my brain was out of my mouth in seconds, and I ended up hurting a lot of people because of that. I ended up losing friends because I would say stuff that I just didn't have the foresight to think about. And that took a really long time to accept almost as well. I think I felt guilty about it, and so I didn't really want to confront that. But when I did, it was a big whoa moment, and I had to kind of settle down and be like, okay, well, how am I Seth gonna deal with that? And one of the big things was honestly just like, it kind of sounds maybe a little silly, but like meditation.
Oh no, it doesn't sound silly at all. Because your mind is a muscle just as much as your body is.
Yeah.
And, meditation to the mind and the spirit can be like the grotto is to the physical impulsivity. So
meditation, I do like to do it now. The form I try to do is you're laying in bed, maybe you have music, maybe you don't. You close your eyes, you picture like the feeling of your big toe.
Oh yeah.
And then you go across all your toes, and then you do your foot, and then you do both feet, and you go all the way up your body. And then once your foot to tippy top of your head, you then are in like a relaxed state. It takes like 15 minutes if you get used to it. And then you just let all of the thoughts in your brain rapidly come at you. And it's weird. The way I kind of envision it is every kind of thought or impulsive thought that I have that's kind of flying at me, I picture myself and the thought there as like kind of like a being, and I shake hands with it and I send it on its way. I don't deny it. I accept it and then I send it on its way.
That's beautiful.
And that was like a big one in just like learning to kind of like take the thoughts, stop, let them go.
Yeah.
Rather than like acting on them or having it feeling like it's controlling me. And another big one as well that I did for impulsivity, which is I call it being on the train.
Okay.
It's a bit of a weirder one.
This is fun.
But
because I've heard, I used to run the embodied meditation.
Okay.
At Camp Celtic. I did the theater arts class. And we would start every theater class with 10 minutes of that, just to get everyone like really in their body.
Yeah.
Because once you can get those like impulsive, the weird little stringy bits of your self-image out of the way, then you can be a lot more like focused on acting. This is so silly because this is theater with like 10-year-olds. But it's true. It's very good.
Unironically, I kind of feel like you have a very natural vibe of doing that just in general. Like, out of the 2 times I've been on here, I won't lie, I'm a little nervous to, like, come on and talk, but you just have a very good way of, like, helping guide in the thoughts and the talking.
I think if that's when I'm trying to pitch people on being on this show, at this point, now that I've done it so many times, I can say my promise to any prospective guest is that I am pretty sure that I am good at that, exactly what you just described. Everyone who's been on this show, and all kinds of people have been on this show, every different kind of person has been on this show. Well, maybe not every. A lot of people have come on here being nervous, and I take a lot of pride in guiding people through this experience in a way that feels good for everyone.
You make me feel very comfortable. I love that.
Oh, Seth, England, you card. I really do appreciate that. It is the skill that I try to bring to this above anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it's to do with meditation. This is like an hour-long meditation.
Yeah. Honestly, I left the last session feeling pretty freaking dandy.
Me too. That was such a fun one. I love building, what do we call it? Building harps and chucking darts or something like that.
Something like that. I actually, I didn't even listen to it on Spotify because I ended up doing the live
real
listen.
radio. That's so good. I love that.
It was so great. We had I actually couldn't get it to work, and I had to leave the room and be like, guys, someone else has got to help me here. I'm setting it up. It's not working.
But you got it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
And it was so good. But sorry, to reverse myself
what's the train?
back,
What's the train?
Yeah. So it's, and I got to shout out Adam Peloso for helping me realize this. This is something that he kind of helped me formulate. Mm-hmm. It can feel often with ADHD, especially when, and this is kind of key, when a mistake has been made, or maybe you feel guilty about something and it's racking your brain and it's all you can think about.
Jumping around, taking over, taking space.
It's really easy because that is there for your impulsivity to kind of thrive. So one bad decision or one bad mistake can start to control you, and it can feel like you're on a train that's going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And you can't stop that train. And once you're on the train, you just feel like you could never hop off because you're going too fast, right? Picture yourself on a train. You're going 100 kilometers an hour. You can't jump off that. That's going to hurt. Everything's going to be awful, right? You just got to keep going on the train.
It doesn't even occur to you really on a train that you're going to jump off the train.
You're on the train, and that's the only possible solution to anything. But what I realized is that you can stop the metaphorical train at any point. You just have to make that decision. So the way
you're the conductor of the train.
You're the conductor of the train. You can put the brakes on the train if you want. So a big thing with impulsivity and impulse control for me has been realizing that I'm on that train. I'm doing air quotes.
Dear listeners, imagine air quotes.
In an audio medium. It's, if you're on that train, stopping is really tough, but if you're able to take that moment to realize you're there, and that's what's pushing you to do certain things or say certain things or act certain ways, you can cut it off, and it's easy, and it's immediately relieving too. You just have to recognize. And that was really, really hard. That was incredibly hard to kind of grasp and gather for myself, because I just never considered that as a possibility, you know?
It's interesting. You say, I like that idea that recognizing that you're on the train is half of the battle of stopping the train. It's something that I come to a lot of the time with kids who are aspiring at outdoor school and grown-ups just the same, because this happens to everyone, is that when you get to the conversation stage, that's a huge step in its own way. If you are even acknowledging that you are struggling or spiraling or on a train, you're on your way. You're not there just by knowing, but you have taken a step in the direction, and that's a hard part. That's physics, momentum. Going from zero to motion is the hard part. Once you're moving towards a solution for yourself, towards stopping your train, that's a huge step. So I'm into that. That's a good metaphor.
Thank you.
The train.
It helps me. I love visualizing stuff, just because it makes it feel like a little more personable to me. Once I have that kind of vision of what I feel like is happening, I feel like I've almost unlocked it. It's like grayed out. You don't get this item until level 70 in a video game. It's you really got to work for it. And there's still a lot of things that I want to work towards on myself in general, but that was a big one. That was something that really launched me into more of a journey of just trying to be even more empathetic, or more understanding. another part with ADHD. Here's another one.
Another one
is it's really hard to admit that you're wrong. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly hard because you kind of just feel like it's really easy to take blame straight to the chest, you know? Or like maybe in your mind you're like, well, I didn't mean to do that. Like I have ADHD, so I should maybe get a pass for something, and then you kind of like rationalize it. But I always like the it's an explanation, not an excuse. So one of the big ones for me was just trying to like going off that train is now that it's stopped, how do I further myself in a productive way? So that's another thing I've been trying to work on is admitting when I'm wrong, stepping off that train, admit when I'm wrong, work towards fixing things, and then learning from those experiences as well. Because you can make a mistake, and that's okay, but it's about how you deal with it afterwards.
Exactly.
And I've made many mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
I've made just about every mistake in the book,
Hey,
I feel like sometimes. But I also feel grateful that I've learned from those experiences.
Yeah. Because, everyone, all of the most pious and interesting and good people I know come from mistakes making, you know? Like, it's how you grow. It's to use the metaphor of how, you know, and I think this is more than a metaphor. I think it's literally true. The similarity between like growing and evolving your body and your mind and your spirit. It's like how a muscle grows. Like a muscle grows by being torn.
Yeah.
And growing back and becoming stronger that way. Like making mistakes and finding the false patterns and identifying where you can go wrong, where you're inclined to go wrong, going wrong that way, feeling the pain of that workout of your spirit when you hurt someone's feelings, because you know, I relate to what you said a great deal, especially when it comes to impulsively saying things that are mean. And I too have lost relationships and you know, harmed friendships by impulsively speaking out of turn because I think it's funny. You know, sometimes I feel like if I can come up with a funny quip, I'll just say it without thinking about it, because I'm like, I'm serving. I'm serving.
No, I absolutely know what you mean.
I'm in service of comedy as its own ends. And this is more how I used to be, but I still feel this little creature in me. I'm like, if I can think of a funny thing, then that is divine. And I need to, it would be a dishonor to not say the funny thing, even if it's going to hurt someone. And developing the ability to temper that and not say the mean thing that I think of every time just because it's funny has been like a long and painful process that has particularly happened for me in the time I've lived in Guelph, thanks to a lot of really amazing people that live here who are in good, you know, communication with the spirit. And so I feel that is what I'm getting at. I feel that in a big way. I don't think
better way to phrase this. I think without other people helping us grow, growth would be nigh impossible. You know?
100%.
But that also requires someone who's willing to stick around. And
it's the value of community.
And I feel like once you have those friends that they will ride or die for you, and even if you do end up saying something you don't mean or making a rude joke or being impolite, and they're able to kind of take a step back and be like, hey, I know you didn't mean that. Let's talk about it. Those are the people that are the most important to keep close to you, you know?
And I'm sure you and I both have listeners right now who are thinking like, oh, we know who these people are for Wizard and Seth / oh, we are those people for Wizard and Seth.
I like it's funny actually. This came up because I had a particularly like I would dog my friend for something that happened, and it came up like the one day where I like would continue to bring it up, and someone was like, hey, you know, you're being a real jerk face about this. And in my mind it was always lighthearted fun, but what I realized after talking to the person was I am being a big jerk face, and that
we are same. We are same.
Yeah.
Same. It is crazy how
Yeah.
relatable this is to me.
Dude, it felt like just a sucker punch
Yeah.
to like my soul. And probably top 10 worst I've ever felt in my life, because I was like, well, crap, like I'm hurting one of my best friends.
This is like the arc of my first 2 years.
Yeah. We had a long talk after that, and that's kind of where that's where the train came from, funny enough.
Oh, there you go.
And recognizing that, and just like the mindfulness in general, and like a journey to like try and change how I act or how I am. Not to take away from who I want to be, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because we're just growing into other ways of expressing these things. Like the journey for me has been, how do I continue to, pray at the altar of comedy, God, but not in a way that's going to be horrible. And I've just slowly been taking myself towards a more additive version of that instead of subtractive, where my little quips where I jump in the middle of someone's sentence and make a funny little joke are about crimpers and grasping slopers or whatever, instead of like, there's a version of that joke where I said something mean to you about climbing or whatever. I'd be like, how could you? You can't grasp that because your hands are weak, you fool.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Now I just that doesn't count.
I'm leaving. No.
I'm out of here. Whose hands you calling weak, wizard?
These hands are strong. Well, actually, right now I'm on injury recovery.
Right now, I'm having low gravity days at the Grotto. I've been going uppies.
You've been going up?
I've been going up.
Any
the
reds?
Wall. Many reds recently.
Okay. Any oranges?
I'm starting to look at oranges like,
all right, sir.
I'm like, oranges looking kind of funny.
Well, the best way to do it is to just go for it.
Oh yeah. Me and past and future guest Byron have been looking at those oranges like,
maybe
interesting. It's a little bit interesting to me. No, I've been loving the reds though. Anyways, what we're getting at here together is that you don't need to abandon who you are to grow into something that feels good. And
honestly, it's really funny because in a really, really, really roundabout way, and it took me, oh my God, 7 years to do it. This is what ADHD meds are. It's just, with ADHD meds, you lose yourself a little bit. You lose that sparkle. You lose that part of yourself, right? So for the whole 7 years, I've been trying to figure out and get down to the deepest core of how I can change myself in a positive light without actually changing who I am, Because I like being myself. I like doing stupid, quirky stuff and saying silly things and loving my friends to death and just being who I am, And I often say that I wouldn't trade the world if I had to change myself,
Well, you mentioned sparkle.
Yeah.
And you mentioned positive light. I feel like we're getting at a good and interesting metaphor here. Whereas if you're like a source of light, and that's who you are, then the game is like, how do we refract this into a rainbow, like a good rainbow?
Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
You're a white light.
I really like that a lot.
And
what kind of prism are you using to help yourself shine?
Because that light is still that light. A rainbow is all of that original light. And so, you don't just want to express the reds and the oranges. You want to express the blues and the greens and the blues and the violets as well. And that's it. There we go. Sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle. And
Sparkle, sparkle with Seth. There's our episode title.
Well, it's cool too, because like this is where it now comes full circle, where like a lot of these big revelations I've been having for myself and how I learn, grow, control, act, be with ADHD have happened within the last 3 years. I've always been like meditating on it or trying to figure it out for 7, but it was really the last 4 that really nailed it in for me, and I've been coaching for 4 years, and it's crazy again how I see these things that I've experienced and I see kids going through them. And I try to, of course, if kids don't want to talk about stuff, I'm not going to push them to talk about it, but I often try to give them a safe space that if they are struggling with something that I can personally relate to, even like ADHD, I can maybe give them a tool or two to kind of help work through it. And it's, even if that tool is purely just, let's go rock climb, let's train hard, let's burn that energy, it's good enough for me. If it's anything more, I feel like I've already won, and it's just a bonus.
It's a gravy.
Yeah.
It's such a, there's a real reflection of this at outdoor school. It's such a similar, like there are meaningful differences between a rock climbing gym and a forest, but I think it is extremely similar.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing things that are exactly this type of way, and everyone at outdoor school would agree with me. That's the name of the game. Is kids come to us and we give them the space to engage with it in whatever way they need. Do you need me as a kid? Do you need me to just climb trees with you and make fire and just do that in a quiet way? We do that. Do you want to talk to me about all of your woes, and like if certain kids want to drill into my mind, they do that, and I offer it up freely. Yeah. But it can be anything. That's what I mean when we say give space. I feel like giving space is sometimes misinterpreted as just meaning like, okay, you go over there and we'll just stay away from you. Yeah. But space means like the encompassing space. It says, okay, kid, or okay, friend, or anyone. Yeah. You can go down to the river, and then you can come back to me and talk to me. Yeah. Or you can do this, that, or the other thing. All of those spaces, it's all important.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I'm kind of thinking in my head of it kind of being like you don't want to feel like you're caged, like you don't want to feel like you're within someone else's walls. You want to feel like you're within your own. You want to be comfortable. You want to have a little bit of freedom. Sometimes I think as well, it's not just here's a great example. I always wanted to ride a bike down to the park or walk to school on my own. Just do something where I have my own time and space. Previously, as we discussed, I used to... Oh, also with that story with the paper cut, they called an ambulance and everything. So I was not a trustworthy kid, but that was all I wanted in the whole world, and so
and that's in kindergarten too. That's the problem.
Yeah. So those things, it kind of, I had been labeled straight off the hop as maybe not trustworthy, or I was gonna do some random wonky stuff, and all I ever wanted was to just be able to go about freely and live my life and talk to people. And of course, when you're a kid, sometimes you can't do that. Yeah. But it was a big point of contention with me and my mom, actually. And it went all the way up to when I was 16. And we had a big fight. Big world-ending fight at the time, it felt like. And
I've been there.
I didn't talk to her for almost a year.
Oh, rough.
We would talk, of course, but nothing special.
Not the same kind of openness.
There was no I love yous. There was nothing. And then eventually the one day I totally broke down, and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm being a jerk face right now, but I need you to give me my space. And we came to an understanding about that, That was one of the wildest days of my life, because suddenly I had freedom. But there was also trust. Yeah. Once you have that trust with someone, like you were just describing, if those kids feel like they can trust you, or if the kids that I work with can feel like they can trust me, I'm totally comfortable giving them that space, And
autonomy.
That
to be in the space that they want to be.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so key.
It's incredibly key.
My relationship with my mom improved quite a lot around a similar, not exactly the same at all. But yeah, right around that same age, I feel like as soon as her and I figured out how to exist on our own, then we became such a stronger pair. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. I love being tight with my mom.
That was actually a big one too. She was always very heavy on you got to do school, you got to get amazing grades, and you got to go to university and get a great degree. And there was a weird day where I was just super flubbed and frustrated in grade 12 where I was like, I don't want to go to university. I don't like school. I learn in a different way. It's not for me. And she came back and she was just like, what if I told you you could do whatever you want? You don't have to go to university. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would be the happiest I'd ever been.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, okay, don't.
Uh-huh. We had like
I was like, what the heck just happened?
I had that with when I dropped out of grade 12 physics, university physics. I dropped out because I was doing bad. Yeah. And it was, they were like, what? There was a moment of real conflict, but then we sort of just got to the place where we got to an understanding where I was like, none of the degrees that I'm considering involve a grade 12 physics grade. Yeah. They just don't, and I need you guys to trust me that this is the path I'm walking. Yeah. And they understood that, and we were all the better for it. And now here I am.
And here you are.
No,
and I'm so happy that you're here, by the way.
Yeah, right? If I was made to complete that degree,
you'd be in the laser lab.
I'd be in the laser lab. I'd be in the CERN, particle accelerator. Miserable. And instead, here I am at the GOS particle accelerator, the GOS child accelerator, accelerating up a tree because they love to climb so much, just like me, with a smile on my face.
I think, honestly, I feel like you're doing... Arguably, I think I'm biased in this opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree with me. I think you're doing some of the best possible work you could be doing with the Guelph Outdoor School. And especially with just like your perception or the idea behind like how kids that age work. Yeah, even with ADHD or
pedagogy. What is
pedagogy? Like mission statement or
like mission, like how we go about our mission.
Like I feel like you're really doing the best work possible where you're like creating a safe space for these kids and like giving them that thing that they need. I actually heard something, so sorry to cut you off.
No.
I heard something incredibly interesting. Yeah. It was for a child to succeed. I might have even said this in the last one.
That's fine. But I'll say it again. Intertextuality, run it back.
I think it was something like you need 4 or 5 close family figureheads for yourself that you can depend on, and 3 outside figureheads, whether that's coaches, teachers, etc.
Oh, I agree. We talk about this all the time at outdoor school. It's that one of the things that we lost when human beings went from our villages, like for most of humankind, we knew everyone on our street. Kids would grow up with like knowing a 22-year-old who just lives on this street. Yeah. There are so many different like layers of community and mentorship and inter-age relationship understandings, and that's not just a part of existing anymore. Yeah. Which is fine. That's part of just the scale of humanity, but it's up to us to counteract that. Yeah. By letting kids be friends with outdoor school teachers and coaches and mentors at the Grotto and wherever else that manifests. Like Lego League or whatever, like, music I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different
absolutely.
worlds that kids like to be in. And so I do think that what you do is important in that same way. Because kids, they need to know some 20-year-old. It is important. I really believe that. Maybe it's just a bit self-aggrandizing that I'm going for the same thing that you're going for.
I think it's important. I agree.
What I do is important and awesome.
Like I'm out here, I'm not trying to train the next Adam Ondra. You know, my whole mantra is as long as kids are having fun rock climbing, I am 1000% doing my job. Trying
to train the next like Indigo. Yeah. Just a person who likes climbing and is an adult who enjoys climbing and does it and likes it.
And actually, honestly, shout out Indigo and climbing, because every time I see Indigo in the gym, they are so incredibly, well, they're always incredibly positive and happy, but they they just seem so happy to be there, and I think that's wonderful. Even just as a facility, that it can be there for adults who have grown up and they're still looking for ways to like get rid of some excess energy or have some fun. That's another cool thing actually about the ADHD climbing pipeline, and I'm assuming outdoor school as well, is it's the like you don't just need to get physically exhausted, but you have to work your brain too. Climbing's a little puzzle.
Exactly.
You're puzzling your way up the wall, you know?
That is such a similarity. It's like to different scales, but it's one of those full, like, Godhead, mind, body, and spirit activities. And I love that. Those are my favorite things. The radio is sort of like that. Other than, I guess, it's not much of a physical workout. But, we're using our body, our mind, and our spirit. And it is a physical, the talking. Talking is a physical act. Like, conversation is like the most pious and divine, beautiful human activity. We're at the end of the show.
Oh my! Are we? No, we're not.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That one ripped way quicker.
And it's been 55 minutes that you and I have been talking for. Believe it or not.
What were we aiming for again? 50...
We try and hit 57.
That's perfect. Oh my gosh!
So that we can play my intro and outro music for 1 minute, and then 58. Boom! 2 minutes of ads and PSAs. Let's see it for you, baby. So I'll rip some gratitude, then you can rip some gratitude.
Thank you.
And baby, we're out of here. I am grateful that you've come on for a second show. I'm grateful for everyone who comes back. If you're listening to this and you're a past guest, please come back on the show. We miss you. I'm grateful for clouds. I'm grateful for wind. I'm grateful for the waters of March. I'm grateful for spring. Waters of March, April showers, May flowers, all the rest. I'm grateful for climbers and swimmers and divers and tree climbers and, grateful for the SETH. Grateful for my wristwatch, grateful for my feet and my hands. I'm complete. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my friends that have helped me grow along the way, the teachers that let me be a kid and recognize that maybe I was a little more hyper than others. I'm grateful for the medicines that I tried and realized that they didn't work. I'm grateful for the friends that have stuck around with me to this day, even if I have said something I shouldn't have, and they still decided to love me.
I relate to that deeply. Thank you so much for being on this show.
Thank you.
I've been Wizard.
I've been Seth.
And only love will stop the killing.
Only love will stop the killing.
Seul l'amour arrêtera le meurtre.
Only love.
Тільки кохання зупинить вбивство.
Only love.
Only love.
Nur die Liebe wird das Töten beenden.
Only love will stop the killing.
Only love.
Μόνο η αγάπη θα σταματήσει τον πόνο.
Only love. Only love.
Only love.